Hello again, Kingston Town Administrator Keith Hickey with the latest edition of This Week in Kingston for the week ending May 5th, 2023. We'll go through a few different things. Obviously, the big event over the last week was town meeting. We'll try to spend a few minutes on that just to give everybody an update on what was approved and what didn't move forward. If you're interested, but first, I want to thank all of the board and committee members who have decided not to move forward and with their positions for the excuse me, the years of service. I'd like to specifically thank Jess Kramer for her years on the Board of Selectmen, and look forward to working with Eric Crone as he comes on board as a new board member. We have our board chair and vice chair, Kim Emberg and Don Alkenbright, will remain in place for the upcoming year. So there's some continuity there, which is great. And we hope to get a lot of work done over the next year. Some good news for people who are paying high electric rates. If you can recall, back in December of 2022, the town's municipal aggregation contract expired, and with that came a pretty significant bump in our electric rates in Kingston through that program. We decided to just keep that program in place for the shortest amount of time we could, which was 1 year, and then go back out to bid. Working with the consultants that Kingston uses, we were able to lock in a new rate for everybody starting January 1st. That rate is 14.476 cents per kilowatt hour. In comparison, right now, people are paying 20.337 cents. So almost a 6-cent reduction per kilowatt hour in service. Which is good news. And for those who are interested in paying just a small amount more for 100% green electricity, there'll be a rate available to you of 14.640 cents per kilowatt hour. And that's 100% green produced energy. And it's an option if anybody is interested in pursuing that. Moving forward to town meeting, and let me just back up for a second. That electricity information, once it's been all the documentation's been completed, we'll get that up on our website, and I expect Colonial Power will be sending out some information like they normally do when there's a change to all the ratepayers, either by mail or electronically. So we'll keep you up to date on that, and we'll have some information on the town website as soon as it's available. Moving on to town meeting, we had 48 articles that were on the warrant. Expected a bit of a marathon. It was just under 4.5 hours, which was a little bit less than I expected it to be, which is great. I think overall the meeting was very, very successful. All of the funding requests that were made for operating budgets and whatnot were approved. We had 5 union contracts that were considered. Those were also approved, as well as some capital equipment purchasing and some project funding that was approved as well. So very pleased and appreciative of the residents who came. We had a larger than average crowd there, which was great. There were a couple of articles that did not pass. There was the funding for a leaching field up at the Indian Pond property that was proposed by the sewer commissioners to build a new leaching field to allow the existing leaching field under the driving range in Indian Pond to rest. There was some concern about that, and ultimately that project failed. And then there was a request to modify the existing zoning we have to allow fill to be brought in, and that or earth reclamation, and that also failed. So those two items may be brought back up in the future. I'm sure the septic field will at some point. I'm not sure what the sewer commissioners have in mind at this point, but expect that to come back in some manner some point in the future. That septic field does need to be rested. It's sitting there now under the driving range. There's been long-term plans by the wastewater commissioners to build this plant I'm sorry, not plant, excuse me. This leaching field up nearby in Indian Pond, the existing one. So, it's something that I think we need to try to look at bringing back and making it more palatable for the voters in the near future. We also were able to successfully get approved the combination of a treasurer and collector, and also have that position go from positions, I guess I should say, go from an elected to an appointed position. Those changes won't occur for 3 years until the end of the recently elected treasurer's term. But we'll be working on that behind the scenes to get everything in place. So it works, things move very, very smoothly when this does go into effect. So that was good news as well. So a lot of good things happening in town. So $500,000 more in road maintenance was approved this year in this year's budget than has been approved in the past. So hopefully you'll start seeing some additional improvements on the roadways as well in areas that need it. So very appreciative of the money you authorized us to expend. We'll try to keep you up to date on all the different projects that are going on. And if you have any questions, you're always able to reach out either by email or phone to me, and I'd be happy to try to answer any questions you may have. So with that, I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys have a good week, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks so much.